Hello, I'm Shayna Loya, Electrophoresis and Immunodiagnostics Product Manager here at Helena Laboratories. Helena has a long history of providing educational support media to empower our customers with proficiency in our assays. In this brief video, we will delve into the technical aspects of operating the SPIFE Touch semi-automated analyzer to perform SPIFE immunofixation assays. It will encompass both serum, urine, and CSF immunofixation procedures. Please keep in mind that the printed instructions for use included in your kit are always right. Always familiarize yourself with and follow the current procedure. Let's kick off by presenting our product lineup. Our gels come in 4 variations. Gels that include 3, 6, 9, or 15 patient profiles per gel to suit any testing volume. Note that T kits include a urine accessories kit in place of the applicator blades. The urine accessory kit includes template and blotter supplies that may be used for template application of low-volume urine and CSF samples. In place of the tris buffered saline, the W kits include a special wash solution called Clear Wash that results in a clearer background. Kits are supplied with sufficient materials to conduct 10 gel runs and come in 3 parts. Part 1 contains the printed procedures: 10 gels, 2 packages of SPIFE Blotter C, 2 packages of SPIFE Blotter D, blotter combs, applicator swabs, 1 vial of acid violet stain, 1 package of citric acid D stain, and 1 package of tris buffered saline or clear wash. Part 2 contains the fixative and IgG, IgA, IgM, kappa, and lambda antisera. Part 3 contains an adequate quantity of sample blades corresponding to the kit size ordered. Displayed are additional items provided by Helena, which are essential for running the immunofixation assays. Sample trays, disposable cups, antisera trays, and tip spacers are available in varying configurations, depending on the number of samples to be processed per gel. Each gel configuration has an antisera template that allows for the most efficient antisera application for every gel type. Additional antisera options are available to complete further testing that may be necessary for certain types of patient samples. Antisera application is flexible and allows endless options for patient testing. We also offer added flexibility of template application for CSF and urine samples. Preparing the solutions is a straightforward process with clear instructions provided on the reagent packaging. To prepare the tris buffered saline, begin by filling a large vat with 8 liters of deionized water. Pour the TBS package into the vat and gently shake the vat to ensure complete dissolution before use. The TBS should be connected to valve 1 of the SPIFE Touch. The optional clear wash solution is prepared in the same manner and replaces TBS at valve 1. To prepare the citric acid D-stain, begin by filling the large D-stain vat with 11 liters of deionized water. Pour the D-stain package into the vat and gently shake the vat to ensure complete dissolution before use. The D-stain should be connected to valve 2 of the SPIFE Touch. For the acid violet stain, start by preparing 1 liter of 10% acetic acid. Pour 100 milliliters of glacial acetic acid into 900 milliliters of deionized water and mix. Next, gently dissolve the acid violet powder into the liter of 10% acetic acid using a stir bar and stirring for 30 minutes or until completely dissolved. It's important to replace the acid violet stain after processing 10 gels to prevent contamination. Connect the acid violet stain bottle to valve 5 of the SPIFE Touch. Ensure that you thoroughly rinse the bottles and vats between solution preparations and adhere to the maintenance guidelines for disinfecting bottles and cleaning the tubing. A SPIFE Touch preventative maintenance schedule worksheet is available on our website for tracking maintenance. We offer Immunofix controls, which consist of known IgG kappa, the IgA lambda, and IgM monoclonal proteins packaged into 3 individual vials. The vials are ready for use as packaged and should be stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The Immunofix controls are designed so that a control for each antisera can be run on each patient gel. Unlike the patient samples, the controls are not diluted. You will find comprehensive instructions within the Immunofix procedures and the Immunofix control instruction sheet provided within the control packaging. Toward the end of the video, I will show how to run the Immunofix controls. Now let's advance to the comprehensive step-by-step segment of the video, beginning with the SPIFE Touch setup for a Serum IFE 9 gel. While this video focuses on a 9-sample IFE gel, we will also provide essential information for configuring other assay options. The SPIFE Touch consists of 2 distinct units, the separation unit on the right side and the stainer unit on the left side. These 2 sides operate independently, allowing you to perform electrophoresis for one method while simultaneously washing and staining a completely different method. Gel processing begins with the setup of the separation unit with sample blade applicators. Each applicator blade contains 12 or 18 teeth depending on the number of patient profiles per row. IFE 3 and IFE 6 applicator blades have 12 teeth per blade for 1 or 2 patient profiles per row and have a blue label on the blade box. IFE 9 and IFE 15 applicator blades have 18 teeth per blade for 3 patients per row and have a pink label on the blade box. The quantity and placement of blades needed is predicated by the number of samples being processed. Be sure that you do not touch the plastic teeth of the applicator blades, as this may affect sample pickup and, consequently, the sample patterns. For IFE 3, 6, or 9 gels, insert a maximum of 3 applicator blades into the vertical slots marked 4, 10, and 16 within the applicator assembly. Add an applicator blade weight to each blade with the thicker side oriented to the right. For IFE 15 gels, insert a maximum of 5 applicator blades into the vertical slots marked 1, 5, 8, 12, and 15 within the applicator assembly. Add an applicator blade weight to each blade with the thicker side oriented to the right. Next, we will proceed with preparing sample dilutions and the sample tray. For immunofixation, the patient serum samples are diluted 1 to 3, which is 1 part serum with 2 parts 0.85% saline for serum protein lanes, and diluted 1 to 5, which is 1 part serum with 4 parts 0.85% saline for Immunofix lanes. Dilutions may be prepared in separate sample tubes or directly within the sample cup strip dilution wells. However, due to desired sensitivity variations, serum samples may also be diluted as follows: IgG 1 to 5 to 1 to 10, IgA undiluted to 1 to 5, IgM undiluted to 1 to 5, kappa undiluted to 1 to 10, lambda undiluted to 1 to 5. The more concentrated samples are more likely to prozone, while the more dilute samples may not exhibit desired sensitivity. Choose the appropriate sample tray. IFE 3 and IFE 6 gels are compatible with the SPIFE disposable cup tray for IFE 3-6. The IFE 9 gels are compatible with the SPIFE disposable cup tray for IFE 9. and the IFE-15 gels are compatible with the SPIFE IFE-15 disposable cup tray. Prepare the sample tray by sliding the disposable sample cup strips into the cup tray. Pipette samples into the rows that correspond with applicator blade placement. Pipette 20 microliters of urine or diluted serum into the small shallow wells of the disposable cups. When using the provided antisera for standard immunofixation, each patient sample will consist of 6 sample wells. Pipette the serum protein dilution into the first well in each row. Use the next 5 wells for the immunofixation dilutions, and then repeat for each patient. If desired, the sample dilution and pipetting process can be automated by the SPIFE Touch. Use the touchscreen to move the applicator assembly to the right side of the instrument. Place the cup tray into the SPIFE Touch by aligning the holes in the tray with the pins on the instrument. The last step in preparation involves setup of the gel and the electrodes. Remove the gel from the protective packaging and remove the overlay. Dispense approximately 2 milliliters of rep prep on the left side of the electrophoresis chamber. Place the left edge of the gel over the rep prep, aligning the round hole on the left pin of the chamber. Gently lay the gel down on the rep prep, starting from the left and ending on the right, fitting the all-round hole over the right pin. Use lint-free tissue to wipe around the edges of the plastic gel backing, especially next to the electrode posts, to remove excess rep prep. Make sure no bubbles remain under the gel. Place a SPIFE blotter C on the gel with the longer edge parallel to the gel blocks. Gently blot the entire surface of the gel using slight fingertip pressure on the blotter. Remove the blotter. Clean the electrodes with deionized water before and after each use. Wipe with a lint-free tissue. Place a carbon electrode on the outside ledge of each gel block outside the magnetic posts. Improper contact between the electrode and the gel block may cause skewed patterns. Close the chamber lid. Now it is time to begin the test. Use the arrows under the separator unit to select the appropriate test and press Start. Then press Start again. The SPIFE Touch will apply the samples, electrophoresis, and beep when completed. When electrophoresis is complete, open the chamber lid and remove the carbon electrodes. Using the gel block remover, remove and discard both gel blocks. Use a lint-free tissue to wipe around the edges of the gel backing to remove any excess moisture. Next, we will complete the immunofixation process. Pour an adequate amount of the fixative vial and each antisera vial into the appropriately labeled wells of the antisera tray. Be sure to select the correct antisera tray, as there are different trays depending on the lane spacing. Cover the tray when not in use and store tray and antisera at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Remember that each gel size has its own compatible antisera template that aligns the antisera application with the patient's samples. Holding the template by the handles, gently place the Anacera template onto the surface of the gel such that the round alignment hole is positioned on the pin to the left and the oblong hole fits over the alignment pin on the right. No further pressure is needed. When using a multi-channel pipetter, place 6 tips onto the pipetter. Note that one side of the tip spacer is concave around the holes. Holding the pipetter with the tips up, slide the concave side of the spacer down over the tips so that the tips position correctly. Using the pipetter, aspirate 50 microliters of fixative and Anacera from the Anacera tray. Dispense the fixative and Anacera quickly into the oval slots at the right end of each Anacera channel in the template. Note that when running an IFE 15 gel, the Anacera lanes run the entire length of the Anacera template and therefore require a volume of 250 microliters of fixative and Anacera per channel. Close the chamber lid and press the Continue button to continue with Anacera absorption. After the 10-minute absorption time, the instrument will beep. Note that an absorption time between 2 to 10 minutes is acceptable. When Anacera absorption is complete, open the chamber lid. Place one blotter comb into the slots on the right end of the Anacera channels such that the tips of the combs touch the gel. Due to differences in the Anacera template, the blotter combs also vary depending on the number of samples per gel. Close the chamber lid and press the Continue button. After the preliminary blot, the instrument will beep. Open the chamber lid. Remove the blotter combs and the Anacera template. Gently blot the gel surface with a blotter C, then remove the blotter. There are 2 blotting options mentioned within the procedure. The first option is to place a SPIFE blotter D on the surface of the gel and then place the Anacera template on top of the blotter D. If a clearer background is desired, a second option is given in which you place 2 blotter Ds on the surface of the gel and then place the Anacera template on top of the blotter Ds and place the SPIFE IFE weight on top of the Anacera template. Close the chamber lid and press the Continue button. The final blot will be timed for 5 minutes. When the beeper sounds, open the chamber lid and remove the Anacera template, blotters, and wait. Lay one electrode across each end of the gel to prevent curling during the drying step. Close the chamber lid and press the Continue button. The gel will be pre-dried in the electrophoresis chamber. Note: do not allow Anacera to dry on the template. The Anacera template should be cleaned with a mild biocidal detergent. The template may also be scrubbed with a soft brush to remove any Anacera residue. Rinse with deionized water and wipe completely dry. After the gel has been pre-dried, carefully remove the gel from the electrophoresis chamber. Once dried, you are ready to stain. Use the arrows under Stainer Unit to select the appropriate test. Press Start and then press the Continue button to proceed. For this first wash, Wash 1, the gel should not be inside the stainer chamber as this wash is only used to rinse the chamber prior to processing the gel. After the chamber has been rinsed, remove the gel holder from the stainer chamber. Attach the gel to the holder by placing the round hole over the left pin and the oblong hole over the right pin. Place the gel holder with attached gel into the stainer chamber, with the front of the gel facing away from the operator. Press the Continue button to begin the staining process. The instrument will wash, stain, destain, and dry the gel. When the gel has completed the process, the instrument will beep. Remove the gel holder from the stainer to view the bands and scan the gel in a densitometer. Immunofixation is also applicable to urine and CSF specimens, although special preparation is necessary for these samples. Urine samples may be run diluted or unconcentrated. However, to achieve higher sensitivity, samples may be concentrated. Urine samples must first be shaken to homogenize, then centrifuge the desired volume at 2000 times G for 5 minutes. Remove the supernatant and concentrate to lab specifications per laboratory protocol. CSF samples may be used after proper concentration. Concentrate CSF to an IgG level of 100 to 200 milligrams per deciliter for typing oligoclonal bands in CSF. Use concentrated specimen for all patterns. Urine specimens can be processed on a separate gel or on the same gel as serum samples, utilizing either applicator blades or template application. CSF can only be applied to the gel by the template method. To run urine only on a gel using blade application, the procedure is exactly the same as described, but select the correct urine test on the separator side for 3 applications of the urine samples. To run urine samples alongside serum samples using blade application, change Load Sample 3 prompt from None to Continue. Place applicator blades exclusively in the rows that correspond to the urine samples. Begin the test. After the second urine application, the instrument will beep and stop. Add an applicator blade into the remaining slots for the serum samples. Close the chamber lid and press Continue to proceed. When electrophoresis is complete, the instrument will beep. Continue with the same procedure as previously described. CSF and urine specimens with insufficient volumes for automated sample application may be run using template application. After blotting the gel surface with a blotter C, the SPIFE urine alignment guide will need to be used to align the templates onto the gel surface. Carefully place the gel on the SPIFE urine alignment guide. Select the correct urine IFE templates for the gel being run. Place one urine IFE template on the gel, aligning the application slits with the upper set of pins on the sides of the alignment guide. The templates have been marked with a hole in one corner. Place the marked corner in the lower left position. Apply slight fingertip pressure to the template, making sure there are no air bubbles under it. Up to 3 templates can be placed on an IFE 3, 6, or 9 gel at one time, while 5 templates can be placed on an IFE 15 gel at one time. Gently remove the gel with the placed templates from the SPIFE urine alignment guide and place the gel correctly into the electrophoresis chamber. Clean the electrodes with deionized water before and after each use. Wipe with a lint-free tissue. Place a carbon electrode on the outside ledge of each gel block outside the magnetic posts. Use the arrows under the separator unit to select the appropriate test and press Start. Apply the samples by pipetting 3 microliters of each sample onto the slits in the template, 1 protein and 5 immunofixation for each patient. Apply the samples as quickly as possible. Close the chamber lid and then press start again. Sample application will be timed for 5 minutes. After sample application is complete, open the chamber lid and gently blot the unabsorbed urine from the urine template with a blotter A+. Carefully remove the blotters and templates and discard as biohazardous waste. Close the chamber lid and press the Continue button to begin electrophoresis. The SPIFE Touch will continue processing the gel as usual. Serum samples which have a precipitin band with kappa or lambda light chain anisera, but none corresponding with IgG, IgA, or IgM anisera, may have a free light chain, or they may have an IgD or IgE monoclonal protein. Such sera should be tested with Immunofix IgD and IgE anisera. Patient serum samples are to be run neat, and urine specimens are to be run per laboratory recommendation. Otherwise, these additional anisera are used in the same manner as described previously. Lastly is a step-by-step segment for running the Immunofix controls. There are 2 options for how to run the Immunofix controls. The first option is to apply the appropriate control to the control wells in patient position 1 following electrophoresis. Anisera applied to the anisera slots comes in contact with the control serum, and an antigen-antibody reaction occurs between the monospecific aniserum and its specific immunoglobulin. An appropriate reaction is indicated by the appearance of a precipitin ring around each well of the finished gel. Note that this option is available on IFE 3, 6, and 9 gels, as the IFE 15 gels do not have control wells. Apply the patient samples and perform electrophoresis according to the instructions in the appropriate Immunofix procedure. After electrophoresis, carefully blot the control wells with an applicator swab to remove excess buffer. Apply 1 microliter of the control to the appropriate wells. The IgG kappa control is applied to the G and kappa wells. The IgA lambda control is applied to the A and lambda wells. And the IgM control is applied to the M well only. Close the chamber lid and allow the controls to absorb into the agarose for 3 minutes. Complete the gel according to the appropriate Immunofix procedure. The second option is to run the controls to verify all phases of the procedure. The controls can be used as a patient sample and taken through every step of the procedure. Used in this manner, the control can verify correct electrophoresis and the specificity and activity of the anisera. Unlike the patient samples, the controls are not diluted. Pipette the undiluted controls into a patient position of the sample tray in the same manner as patient samples. Pipette IgG kappa control into the G and kappa positions. Pipette IgA lambda control into the A and lambda positions. Pipette IgM control into the M position. Apply samples, electrophorese the gel, and complete the procedure according to the appropriate Immunofix procedure. I hope this information was helpful to you. Again, please refer to the procedure included in your kit for the most up-to-date instructions. Helena is also ready to answer any additional questions you might have. A list of resources are listed below.